Hi, Ms. Desue. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. Did you prefer to be called Ms. Desue or Jasminique, Jazz?
Whatever you want to call me, Jazz is fine.
Okay, Jazz. So, Jazz, what did you want to talk about today?
How I maintain my busy schedule.
Okay, well, go ahead and elaborate on that.
Okay. Well, I coach cheerleading.
Mm-hmm.
I work two jobs.
Mm-hmm.
I babysit.
Okay.
I'm a college student, so it's just a lot of stuff.
Wow, that is a super busy schedule. And how do you maintain and balance everything that you have going on in your life right now?
Well, I work every day until about 4 o'clock, and
Okay.
then I practice with my cheerleaders for
Mm-hmm.
about 3 hours after work.
Okay.
And then I go to my other job on the weekends, so Saturday and Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So, and school, I actually decided to take off this semester, which I'm gonna start in fall B.
Okay.
So that way I figured by that time football season will be over and I don't have to really worry about my cheerleaders too much.
Right.
And I babysit whenever I have extra
Okay, so you work a job, a full-time job. You're a cheerleader. You're going to school, and you babysit on the weekends.
time.
So that sounds like you're pretty busy.
Yes, ma'am.
So, and what do you do to kind of balance out your time, as far as, how can you balance work, your cheerleader, school, because you're busy every day of the week.
Right. So I just have to like set aside time
Mm-hmm.
to like do specific things. Like whenever I'm taking my classes, I'm like, okay, well, when I get out of practice for about an hour, I'm gonna study.
Okay.
Or with my cheerleaders, I just kind of like keep them on task while I'm there. So if I can say, okay, well, we won't practice tomorrow, that way I
Mm-hmm.
can go do this or do that. So
Okay.
I try to keep them on task at practice so we can like not practice as much as we don't have to.
Right. I understand that, and well, it sounds like you have a pretty decent plan on how you stay on track, with your cheerleaders. What about your full-time job? How hectic is that?
It's so I'm at a front desk at a high school, so
Mm-hmm.
all day, every day, if it's not dropping with the kids, it's
Right.
parents.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of stressful.
Right.
But here lately, I've been working in the guidance department half the
Mm-hmm.
day, and someone's been at the front desk half the day. So that
Okay.
kind of like leaves me a little less stress when I leave for the day. So I
Right.
can like tolerate the cheerleaders after
Mm-hmm.
work or go home and want to study.
Exactly. Okay, so it sounds like, you splitting up your day at work, leaves you a little bit less stress so you can deal with the stress of coaching cheerleaders.
Mm-hmm.
How does that job impact your life?
The guidance.
The cheerleaders.
Oh yes, I love that because like I love teenagers anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, as you can imagine, teenage girls are
Right.
something else.
Right.
So I mean, they keep me on my toes. They
Right.
keep me
Okay.
on what's new,
Mm-hmm.
what's cool. So I like that.
Cool. That's awesome. You always want to stay up to date with the latest of what's going on. And
Right.
teenagers are definitely helpful with that. How do you think you're impacting their life as far as, what they're going to do in the future? How can you impact their life at this moment? Because you're dealing with young people, and you have the opportunity to make a great impact on their life.
Well, I feel like I think I'm a good enough role model, and they
Okay.
always tell me somebody would tell me they look up to me and different things like that. And I feel like with my busy life, I
Mhm.
can show them that you can do all of this and
Mhm.
be successful at doing it all, and still
Exactly.
do everything you want to do and everything you have to do to do it.
Right.
Because a lot of them now are having to start working because they drive and
Mhm.
their parents need help with gas or just paying the stuff they need, lunch money. So it's always, well, I don't want to get a job because I'm not going to have time to hang out with my friends. I'm like,
Right.
girl, I do all this stuff and still have time for my friends. So,
Exactly.
like, I think that kind of gives them a little motivation to want to do other things.
Okay, and it sounds like you're teaching them about balancing,
Mm-hmm.
school, cheerleading, and probably keeping their grades up too, right?
Right.
Because I know that is makes a big impact on their future, their grades is important, and in order to cheer, they need to have their grades up.
Right.
So it sounds like you're definitely a great role model for them. What about, what about your life as a babysitter on the weekends?
That's interesting too because I usually babysit a 1-year-old and a 4-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
So they keep me on my toes too.
I
It's
can
like a whole
imagine.
different. But the 4-year-old, she's just at a stage now where she likes to talk, ask
Mhm.
questions.
Exactly.
You never know what's gonna come out of her mouth. So that's a lot of fun. But yeah, they keep me busy.
I bet. And is there anything else in your life that, kind of um, messes with your schedule or kind of impacts your schedule as a full-time worker, a cheerleading coach, a student, and a babysitter?
Well, I have a boyfriend.
Okay.
He good things understand that
Right.
because I'm so busy. So
Exactly.
I just fit him in where I can.
And so that does that impact your relationship and the connection that you have because you're so busy and so have a pretty full life with everything else and then add a boyfriend onto that. How does that impact your relationship?
Well, so far it's been pretty good. He
Mhm.
hasn't really said too much, and now I'm like, okay, well now you can start coming to my games because we have football games. I'm like, come watch the cheerleaders cheer.
Right. And spend time with me. Yeah.
Right.
That's
So,
awesome.
so far so good.
Awesome. Well, that's pretty good that you're able to balance the boyfriend on top of everything else that you have to do. Um, so earlier you mentioned that you took the semester off from school. What made you decide to take your semester off from school for fall A?
Because with the cheerleaders,
Mm-hmm.
school like the fall B is gonna start I think October 21st.
Okay.
So homecoming is a big thing here,
Mm-hmm.
and my cheerleaders play a big part in homecoming. So I was
Right.
like, okay, homecoming is over October 3rd. That's homecoming. So if I can get through that, get them through tornado world,
Mm-hmm.
then I'll focus on class. So
Right.
I just kind of had to put, not necessarily put it on the back burner, but
Mhm.
like just do one thing at a time.
Okay.
And I feel like too with work, by that time I'll be used to my work schedule with the changes from front desk to guidance.
Right.
And my body will just be used to everything and I can then focus better on school.
Okay, and it sounds like you sound pretty optimistic about starting school in the fall and being able to handle everything because you feel like you'll be in the swing of things by then. Everything will have calmed down with the cheerleaders and with your job. So, how do you think going back to school in the fall is going to impact anything as far as your job or your coaching or your babysitting?
I hope not. I'm just gonna hope. I talked to my boss at work.
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of told him, well, I'm kind of nervous because last year when I worked there and I took classes, it was hard.
Okay.
And I wasn't even coaching cheerleaders last year. So I already told him, I was like, once I start back with my classes, I may have to take off a lot more than normal because
Okay.
I'm just kind of worried. So we'll see how it works out.
Okay.
I'm kind of worried about it.
Well, yeah, you definitely sound concerned about how you're going to handle, your busy life plus going back to school. What are some goals that you think you can work on setting now to get you prepared to going back to school in the fall?
I guess I could go ahead and start because I'm a person that needs a lot of sleep.
Okay.
One thing I think I need to start going to bed on time.
Okay.
So that'll get me like my mind ready to learn.
Right.
And then I think I could probably go ahead and start like setting aside time, like making time already to say, okay, I'm gonna study during this time.
Okay.
Whenever I start back in school. I'm only taking 2 classes
Okay.
just because it's gonna be a quicker semester since it's fall B.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm only gonna take 2 classes. So I think if I just rest up and be ready to work, I'll be fine.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you have a pretty good plan on what you want to do as far as maybe getting a lot of rest now to prepare you for fall B and, go ahead and set aside that time now to that you're gonna do for studying.
Right.
So get that time set aside now, you take that time out, for right now, you can take that time out for yourself, and then once fall B starts back, you can, set it aside for studying. So, are you nervous about going to school and how you're gonna handle everything once you get started?
A little. But in the past, I've had like a pretty good relationship with my teachers.
Okay.
I just kind of tell them like when they want to know about you, I just kind of tell them up front like I have all this. And luckily, so far, I've been blessed with pretty good teachers.
Right.
They're just like they're very understanding and they realize I have all this going on. So if I say, um, can I turn like I don't want it to sound like I'm like taking advantage of
Right.
them. But like if I say, okay, can I turn this in like tomorrow instead of today or they're usually pretty good about it. So I think the main thing is maintaining a good relationship with your teachers. So
Okay.
I think as long as I do that, I'll be
And that's definitely a great start, is building up that relationship from the beginning, letting them know, that you're busy and you're not trying to take advantage, but, you might need a little extra time, or, need them to work with you every now and then. So, so, how, you said that you'll be taking 2 classes. What type of classes are you gonna take?
I need to take a science. So I was thinking about taking earth science,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's still one more I haven't decided on yet. But earth science, like I'm kind of looking forward to it, just
Okay.
because like I'm not really a science person,
Right.
but I feel like out of the choices I had, I was like earth science. That might be good. I live on earth. It would be bad to learn about that. So.
Right, it might be an interesting course where you can learn a little bit along the way.
Right.
Um, so how close are you to finishing your degree?
Well, like I took like 2 semesters off,
Mm-hmm.
so I have 4 classes until I get my AA.
Okay.
So I'm gonna I figure if I take 2 now and then 2 next semester,
Right.
I should be good. But yeah, I'm taking 4. I have 4 more classes for my AA, and now like I wanted to go into early childhood,
Mm-hmm.
but after like being in guidance the past few weeks,
Right.
I'm kind of I don't know. I want to do something in the guidance department. Cause too, like I just like teenagers,
Okay.
and like I want to be like an impact on their lives. I see like how much guidance counselors get to interact with them all
Right.
day,
Right.
and just get to like help them with their future. So I'm kind of thinking about doing something guidance.
Oh, that sounds like a great plan to kind of switch over.
Mm-hmm.
And it's good that you were afforded that opportunity on your job to be able to experience what guidance is like.
Mm-hmm.
So you might switch over to like a field that I'm in right now, counseling. So now that you know that that's a field that you're interested in, what steps are you going to take now to become possibly a guidance counselor so that you can impact more students?
Well, I already talked to one of the counselors, and I'm thinking about just sitting in
Mhm.
because I mean it's an all-day thing. Parents coming in,
Right.
students coming in. I just thought about sitting in for about 2 hours out of the day just to kind of like get a feel
Uh-huh.
and just kind of see what all they do because they not only like are guidance counselors like that talk to you about problems, but they're academic counselors.
Exactly.
So I mean, that's something like I just think if I go in and sit in and just see, and then I need to also go talk to my counselor
Okay.
and see what steps I need to take to kind of switch over if that's what I want to do.
Okay, well that sounds like a great plan, to be able to sit in and watch exactly what goes on behind the, that guidance counselor desk.
Right.
And it will give you a great, it will give you skills that you would need, and a better understanding of the guidance counselor role, and if it's, something that you really want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So after maybe sitting in and then maybe talking to your counselor, do you think that you might want to pursue a bachelor's in counseling?
I think so. I think I'd be a pretty good counselor because I already, I mean, working at the front desk, you have everything coming in there, kids
Right.
crying or he broke up with me, and so I kind of like mediate everything anyway.
Right.
As far as that, so I think, and kids just like openly talk to me. I don't
Mhm.
know why, but they just do it. So I think I would be a good counselor.
and it's great that you're already kind of experiencing
Mm-hmm.
the role of a counselor by, not even really noticing that you're helping students, but you're
Right.
helping them, and they're coming to you for a reason. So, it's great that you have that opportunity to kind of make an impact on them.
Right.
What are the things that you can do now to kind of lead you to that role of maybe becoming a counselor?
Um, I guess I could read up a little bit more on it,
Hmm.
talk to people like you who have
Okay.
experience, kind of, and just see like what steps I need to take or get advice, and just kind
Right.
of see if this is something I really want to do.
Okay. And counseling is obviously a great field. I love it. And it's a great opportunity to reach so many people and to help people, because you said that you love to help people, and it's a great opportunity to help others and to be able to help them work through their issues. Um, um, what other things? Did you have anything else that you wanted to discuss with me today?
Not today.
Okay, well, Jazz, it was great discussing your busy life with you, and I hope to get to know a little bit more about what you go through on a daily basis, and getting to know you more.
Okay, I'm
All right,
excited.
all right. Thank you.
Thank
You have a
you.
great night.
You too. I think I went good.